Brian, on another matter, a huge figure within the SNP passed away at the weekend.
Yeah, Gordon Wilson, a very, very significant figure indeed within the SNP, an MP for 13 years, leader of the party for more than a decade, a big figure throughout in the SNP and the wider independence cause. But in some ways, the story of Gordon Wilson, Jackie, matches and mirrors the challenges that have faced that independence cause down the decades. He entitled his memoirs, his political memoirs, The Turbulent Years. Here's why. Different times. Gordon Wilson, 30 years ago, leading an SNP struggling to be heard.
This oil belongs to Scotland, and that the revenues also belong to Scotland. We will not compromise.
Earlier, in 1973, he had turned the discovery of North Sea oil into a vivid push for independence. The campaign galvanised Scotland. The result? In 1974, first 7, then 11 SNP MPs in the Commons. A third of today's number, but still enough then to terrify the Westminster establishment. But disquiet within the SNP too, a power struggle between MPs and the leadership in Scotland, and an older conflict about the SNP's fundamental approach.
Some in the party seem to be obsessed by the role of MPs.
This is the SNP conference in 1982. The party had fallen back badly in the 1979 election, and the left had formed the 79 group to argue for socialism alongside nationalism. Gordon Wilson outlawed them as a damaging schism.
I'm now convinced that the party will not recover its unity until all organised groups are banned.
Supporters applauded. The 79 group walked out in protest. Their number included Kenny MacAskill, Rosanna Cunningham and Alex Salmond, later to lead the party and form the first SNP Scottish government. But that was ahead. Gordon Wilson battled successfully to stabilise the SNP, so much so that one young reporter found the 1989 conference just a little dull.
The conference agenda is a fraction tame. Indeed, cynical observers might call it limp.
The turbulent years seemed by, although Gordon Wilson lost his own Dundee seat in 1987. More contention. The SNP opted out of the cross-party convention, which drew up plans for devolution. And in 1990, Gordon Wilson stepped down as leader. He backed Margaret Ewing as his successor, but Alex Salmond won convincingly, taking the SNP to a new level. The current leader says Gordon Wilson deserves huge credit for the vital groundwork.
Gordon led the SNP through some really difficult times for the party, and because of the way he led the party, the wisdom with which he led the party, he set us up for the success that we've enjoyed in recent years.
March this year, Gordon Wilson counsels caution over going too early with another independence referendum. To the end, still thinking, arguing, hoping.
It may not be Nicola Sturgeon who achieves independence for Scotland. It might be Theresa May. If she takes the wrong decisions, she could certainly push Scotland into a state of freedom and liberty.